Sorry for those just who joined on time. Sorry for the delay of the technical issue. Okay, let's get started. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining. Okay, so let's get started this webinar about how we accelerate your AI journey on Azure with Lenovo and Kloudify.
Hello, everyone. I do understand that there was.
Sorry, so I'll do the introduction first. Okay. Are you guys able to see my slide, the screen? Yes, right?
Yes.
It's on. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. My name is Tim Chen, from Lenovo Microsoft CSP team. I'll be your host for this section. Today's webinar is organized by Lenovo together with our partner Kloudify. Lenovo is a Microsoft cloud solution provider, in short form is CSP, supporting organizations in adopting Microsoft technologies such as Azure, Copilot, and AI solutions. Kloudify is one of our indirect CSP partners, and they provide a platform based on Microsoft, certified platform, which allows organizations to quickly deploy AI proof of concept solution and Copilot agents across different industries. Through this partnership, we aim to help customers move from AI awareness to practical AI implementation on Azure. Over the past years, many organizations have shown strong interest in AI. However, a common challenge that we hear from customers is we understand the potential of AI, but we are not sure where to start or which use case to try first. So the purpose of today's session is to show how organizations can identify practical AI use cases and quickly launch AI proof of concept projects. Today, we will start by discussing common AI adoption challenge and introducing the AI POC platform, followed by real industrial use cases, and finally, a live demonstration showing how this AI solution can be deployed quickly. We will also leave time at the end of the for Q&A. Now, I would like to hand over to our partner, Kloudify, to walk through the platform and demonstration.
Thank you, Tim, for the kind words. Thank you, everyone, for joining and your patience as well. I do understand that technical issues are a part of IT. I'll just start sharing my screen. Please do flag it if you can't see the full screen. So as Tim mentioned, what we've identified is that companies usually work towards AI because they've been instructed, let's say, by the CEO, CTO, to develop an AI strategy that works for their business. We've seen a lot of ideas being pulled together, a lot of companies running POCs that never get off the ground, and identified that the biggest problem that we're seeing is that there's no end goal or result in mind when developing these AI solutions. Yes, automation plays a big part. You've identified some processes that you want to get AI influence within to remediate, maybe make it less manual. But at the end of the day, it doesn't scale. It ends up costing too much just from the POC perspective. So we're going to do a small deep dive to understand where the best practices are in the industry, your peers, your colleagues. What do they see as a success within this AI implementation model, and how we can turn those real solutions and lead them with AI. The gap over here is something that you might have been part of in a meeting, board meeting, some SLT meeting, some discussion at your level as well on how AI can be implemented in business processes. Most people just come across, let's say, having an interest, having the data set, cleaning it up, having a delivery model as well, because I know there's a lot of skill here just in this meeting alone, like 50 people here. I know you're technical, you understand what you're trying to achieve. But where you start is you start at the mission or the process itself. We've seen AI work very well when you have a goal, like end result, at the forefront of your strategy. So where you start in the best practices is you identify a goal, you identify an end result, and work backwards. You understand what you want to achieve and where you want to get. You benchmark all your KPIs accordingly, and that's where you begin your journey. Kloudify AI Factory is the ability to view those end results, the ability to influence those end results in a safe demo cost environment where you can actually monitor your cost, understand where the scale up is. I'll talk more into it now. Now, what does Cloudify AI Factory enablement platform, like how does it impact you? Is that we, through this system, which you can acquire as well, uh, you can understand the end goal, end result, the use cases where you're bringing in AI, rapidly deploy a demo environment, which then again doesn't tie into your cost, to just test out your strategies, customize it into a POC, and then validate all the ROI. These are not just results you have on paper. These are also results tied to the cost of implementation and scale. So you can have a live dashboard. Yasit, my colleague, will demonstrate through the product itself and the tool itself and how you use it to validate that. And also you are then confident with the results when you have and move towards the implementation phase. There's a small screenshot there, but we'll blow it up for the demonstration. Now, the four-phase delivery model, again, talking about what I mentioned in the beginning, is identify the use case or the goal within that discovery business phase, rapid POC, validation and governance. This is where we tie up all your security, compliance, details and requirements, your landscape for that. This is very critical for a lot of businesses because you see a lot of shadow AI, you see a lot of documents from your internal storage moving to, let's say, personal AI models that people are using like Claude Code these days to validate. And, like it's very productive. But then from an IT compliance perspective, you have a loophole or a big gap. So we introduce where AI strategies and how does that platform itself validate the governance, let's say, role-based permissional access. I'll talk about that a bit more. And then at the end of the day, how do you have your full group blueprint, scale and growth, to scale that whole product towards? Now, what is different about this with what you see out there? I think you've seen a bit of this already with Microsoft's new Copilot offering, and then you've seen this with OpenAI's 5.4 in offering a Cloud Code as well. You see a lot of this. It has pre-built Azure AI templates. Now, what that means is that you can enable your internal function or process through a pre-built template. So that's your framework. You can demo it to see how it works out, and then customize it towards your requirements or your specific business needs. Because each business process, even though it might be financial operations in one company, differ to the financial operations in the other company. Your peers, maybe like if you discuss this, they have different strategies towards these approach. And then AI changes accordingly on how that business process is implemented within that template for the AI. A responsible AI framework, I think we already have that established last year when the framework came out early last year. And then it was talked about like how to make it more responsible, how to be more ethical with AI usage. That's something that we've embedded within the system as well. Cost visibility is a big one. I do understand that how maybe a few of you ran these POCs that then scaled up to scary costs at the end of the day. This is something that you have full visibility as you deploy, as you develop, and as you understand what the scale would look like. So that whole dashboard that Yasit will later on showcase will have that recorded. Enterprise level security controls from day one. So this gives you an option because I do understand that enterprise grade is a very vast terminology now. So the permission controls that conform to your business or are critical to your compliance needs, like ISO Essential 8, whichever you're trying to hit, are something that you can pick and choose and add to this model. And then again, the defined pathway, the 4 pillars that I've mentioned, phase 1, 2, 3, 4, with Cloudify, that we do identify, come in, do these workshops where we want to be able to justify the end goal and build backwards towards it, which is the best practice we see in any AI model language or agentic model. A lot of you on the call, I didn't get a chance to go through each and every one of your details, but I do believe you would be highly technical when you're joining conversations like these. So this is just what the technology looks like on where it's based on. It is an Azure native system. So everything from your company perspective is built on your Azure tenancy, stays within your Azure environment. And it is, again, safeguarded by everything Microsoft security related. So let's say your permissions, your role-based access control, your logging and governance, your entry ID, everything comes in place. So it ties up perfectly if you are within that Microsoft ecosystem or you're looking to move towards that Azure system, which we can then look into and develop. Now, I don't want to bore you with the words and talking big about this system which you have not yet seen. So we'll do like a deeper dive with Yasid in a demo environment, and you can identify what use cases we're talking about. And then I'll talk a bit more about what metrics we're hitting with them. If there are any questions, you can anytime drop it in the chat. And if you have any specific business process that you want to see this AI, agentic model or pre-built template for, we can definitely include that. So just flag it in the chat. Like if you any business process you want us to focus more on, we can do that as well. Yasid?
Thank you, Sad. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yasid, and I'm the resident Microsoft Azure Data and AI Specialist here at Kloudify. Today, I'm here to actually take you through our Kloudify AI Factory portal to give you an introduction into what it is, how it was created, why it was created, and the great benefits that you can actually have from our portal, from our tool right here. Now, if we actually talk about, let me just first share my screen so that you can see the tool in action, well and alive. Perfect. There we go. So this is the main landing page of our tool. Now, just to understand how and why this specific tool was brought alive, I would say. So many organizations, I would say in the last couple of years, they plan and they take the initial action to adopt AI. But the main problem that we have identified with the adoption of AI is they face the organizations themselves, they face common challenges. They don't know where AI can create value. You can have conversational AI models, you have image generation, video generation, a lot of platforms, a lot of aspects into AI use cases, but they don't know where it will create value for your organization and how it will align with your short and long-term business goals. And also AI pilots that are deployed, if you do a POC, a proof of concept, very rarely it actually moves into production stage. It could be due to time restraints, it could be due to cost restraints, because deploying an AI model, training it, making something from scratch can take a lot of effort and money, and as well as time consuming when it comes to building these agents or POC solutions. And also it takes a lot of time for developing something from the ground up. Just starting from the fresh whiteboard and building something up, it might take a long amount of time. So that is where Kloudify steps in and is currently even actively developing this Kloudify AI platform. How does it solve these problems? So Kloudify is solving these problems by providing a very neatly organized, structured platform, mainly to discover, prototype, and even deploy AI solutions with just the click of a button for your environment, right? So if we just look at the current workflow or the pipeline of the AI factory, how it works is, as Saad mentioned as well, we identify opportunity, we build a prototype, then we use that prototype to deploy a solution, and finally, we help organizations to scale that solution according to their business and their business requirements. And that is how we provide ROI, a return on the investment that they make initially on these type of solutions. So I would say that is how and why the Kloudify AI Factory came into action. And as you can see, now just let me take you through the tool so you can actually see how it feels and what it is, what it contains. So as you can see, this is the landing page. And if you just take a look into the main central part, you see all these different, I would say, AI use cases. And these are readily deployable POC solutions that you can just deploy using a click of a button into your environment. You can see healthcare chatbots, knowledge mining agents, there's customer service agents, you have policy assistance, and if you just there's endless amount of POCs ready to be deployed into your environments without any hassle. And if you take a look at the left navigation bar, you can see that currently we are on AI POCs. There are 260 plus, and many more are currently actively in deployment development as well. Because what we do is we identify general use cases or even any special use case given to us by any one of our clients, and we use that to create a easily deployable solution that can work for any organization without any issue. You can also see there's a Copilot agents. There's currently 141, but also again many more currently in active development as well. And you can see now, as Saad mentioned, all your organizations, you might come from different backgrounds, you might come from different fields. It could be retail, it could be healthcare, it could be manufacturing, it could be financial services. So we have neatly organized everything according to the specific industry. So you can understand how how serious we are taking this into making sure that all different domains, all different scopes, all different fields are getting serviced equally here. So you can see currently there's a enormous number of deployments, enormous number of pre-created, predefined templates that can be used without starting from the whiteboard, I would say. Now, just for today's demonstration purposes, what we have done is we have chosen 3 out of these hundreds of POC solutions. We have chosen 3, and we can actually take a look into each one of them. We thought that would be relevant to any organization, independent of their field, independent of their specialty, expertise, so on and so forth. So the first use case, I would say, that we all can relate to is an AI knowledge assistant. We call it an internal chatbot. So just to give you a little bit of a context, let me just move into that specific POC or solution here. So it gives you a clear idea about what are the technologies that are being used for this specific solution, so that you know, once deployed, what are the components that will be created in your Microsoft Azure environment, so that you have complete end-to-end transparency on how it works. So this specific chatbot is developed for internal use, for making sure that you have one single tool that can be used to query your any number of data sources that you might have, because as an organization you might have your data in different places. You can have ERP systems, CRM systems, you might have SharePoint sites with your documents, policy documents, training documents, and you might have intranets as well. So the problem with this is the information is stored in multiple systems. Employees sometimes spend hours searching for specific documents because they are all served in different locations, and sometimes repeated HR and policy questions. So someone might be wasting their time over and over again trying to find the same answer every other week. So to eliminate that, what we have created here is the AI powered, basically the knowledge management chatbot, and you can see how it works. So I'll actually take you through the current landing page of the solution. This is how it shows all the challenges that it fixes, the benefits that you might get, and also how the proposed solution works. So it can integrate with your existing systems, your existing data sources, repositories, and give you the specific solutions that whenever you need. Now, if we take a look at the actual demo, now this demo is launched just with a simple click of a button. So you can see here, this is actually related to a chemical manufacturing company, or in this case, a manufacturing company that is mainly reliant on could be risky chemicals. So currently we have demo prompts that you can use for demo purposes. Just for an example, I'll just pick the first one. What are the hazard statements associated with the specific chemical? I'll give the submit button. And without any frills, without any long conversations, paragraphs, it's just straight as an arrow. It gives you the information that you require. So as you can see, It may cause cancer, harmful if swallowed. So basic hazard statements of this specific chemical. Now, if I go through one of the other, it also gives you the instructions on what to do. So for an example, this could be the job of a person or an employee in this specific organization that is working as a safety officer. Each and every time some incident happens, some situation arises, they would be going to the situation, and then they would have to explain all these information to the employees in that specific situation. But with this, the employees have access to this tool 24/7 from anywhere, and they'll be able to gather this information as quick as possible to make sure that there is no harm or danger done when handling these type of chemicals. So this is, again, as I mentioned, this is a demonstration purpose built tool. This can be customized for your specific requirement. It doesn't have to be about chemicals. It can be about your manufacturing processes. It can be about your inventory of your organization. It
Yeah,
can be
that's
about,
also brings us to the question in the chat, like by Lee, Webster Lee. So with this system itself, like you can also like apart from the inventory chatbots or inventory related POCs, this knowledge management chatbot, when you customize it for, let's say, with your inventory management system and link it up with your sales analysis tool, or basically sales numbers where the data is hosted, it would then be able to give you details on that specific use case. So for in this case, like as Yasir mentioned, it's just like a demo environment that's customized to one use case.
yes, exactly. So again, with your requirement, all these POCs, these hundreds of POCs are highly customizable for your specific requirement. It can be customized, tailor-made for you, for your specific organization and business requirement. Yes. So I think it gives you a good idea on how the internal knowledge management chatbot works. So you can query it, you can ask any questions from it, you can ask any information regarding your policies, documents, anything that we connect as a data source to it, and you'll be able to use that to achieve your requirements. Now, moving on to the second use case, which is again something similar. I would say a majority of organizations have right now in the organizational world, which is contact centers. So you have call centers for IT operations, you have call centers for internal employees. Sometimes it could be call centers for external clients, B2B or B2C. So you have to understand that a call center is a complete operation on its own. Calls coming in, sometimes customers can be frustrated, customers can be irritated, sometimes the agents can get irritated due to similar reasons. So there can be high call volumes, inefficient workflows, and even inconsistent service throughout the different agents. So the reason I would say that we can implement AI into a contact center to optimize it, to make it efficient, is using the capabilities that we have included here. So the main capabilities are automatic call transcription, AI generated call summaries, you have sentimental analysis, and you also have automated actionable follow-up notes that can be assigned to specific agents after the call is done, so that even the agent doesn't get time to manually write anything down. He'll be automatically provided the tasks on the follow-up action that has to be taken.
So it's similar to if anybody here on the call has used Gong with their organization before. So it's pretty much similar to the functionality that Gong offers, but within the Azure environment, and then highly customizable based on your use cases.
Yes, exactly. So the benefits are mainly reduced agent workload, faster call handling, and also consistent call documentation, so that even after a certain amount of time, you can move back, you can look back into the history of calls and identify how and what and when everything happened. Now let's just take you all into the demo of that. So yeah, as I mentioned, we have two, I would say, demo calls that we have done. So this one is actually, this is the call transcription. This one is a call that happened due to a unexpected charge on a customer's credit card. The customer is reaching out to the support about it. The AI assistant is going to respond to it, and they're going to have a back and forth conversation. And finally, the customer actually gets the statements emailed, and it's if there's a recurring subscription, the customer is helped to cancel it in the future. So I just choose this specific call and I press the play button here. And as you can see, if we take a look into the different prompts that just got filled here, you can see the AI model here, or in this case, the AI solution, clearly identifies that the roles connected to it, the entities connected to it are the customer and the AI assistant, and the specific technologies that being used, and also the queues. It's the call about subscription handling, charge explanation, email delivery, real-time billing assistance. So it automatically tags the call with the specific queues, so that even again, as I mentioned, if you want to get an understanding, have a history about how many subscription related calls were done last month. So you can take a look into metrics like this very easily with this tool. And also it gives you a summary about the key phrases that have been identified throughout the call. Finally, it gives you an AI generated summary about what happened with the call. And finally, it also gives you a sentimental analysis of the customer, because making sure that the customers are happy is a main concern that we need to make sure to properly provide the relevant services. And finally, it also gives the actionable agent suggestions. So how is the agent handling the call? It's going to get that data. It's going to learn that data and understand what can be improved to improve the agent's efficiency, improve the agent's delivery of the services to the end customers.
Yeah, also to answer Amit, like it ties up to your Azure tenancy, right? So it's deployed within Azure. So the data is sitting, if it's the data is tied to Azure, yes, you can pull out any call recordings. The agent suggestions are, let's say, because we're talking about, let's say, customer success, customer support, sales, three different scenarios, you would have playbooks for next best step that you would tell your reps to read through, but knowing most, nobody reads through those 30, 50 pages, right? So you could add that as a repository of data for this agent to model itself on. And then the next step would be highly relevant to your organization rather than it pulling details from the online, like what the next best step would look like for the agent or like, offer or follow up. It would then allow you to customize it to your organizational strategy.
Yes. So I think you have a clear understanding about what the contact center operations AI solution is. So it's mainly a call summarization, as well as it tries actionable insights into it, key phrases, entities, and also sentimental analysis into the call that has happened. Now, moving on to the third and the final use case, again, something that I would say, as a solutions provider, implement many number of times with specific requirements from clients, which is a component in Microsoft Azure called document intelligence. I'm pretty sure you must have heard of it a lot. So document intelligence is an I would say, service that is provided by Microsoft Azure as a OCR to extract data, to identify data, and extract that data out of, could be handwritten notes, could be formatted PDF files, tables, and any document of that sort. So the main problems that we understand here is organizations process thousands of documents on a monthly basis. Could be financial forms, could be contracts, complaints, scanned documents, could be images, could be handwritten notes or dockets. So many organizations still rely on manual document review. They have people that manually extract this data and then input it into their, could be ERP, CRM, any other information system as well. So the main problems that we identified is the time that it takes to process these data, because we understand manual errors can happen as well due to human intervention, and also compliance risks when it comes to this data extraction methods. So using Kloudify AI Factory, we actually deployed an in this case, developed an AI-powered document intelligence solution that have the capability to read, scan documents, and we can predefine and classify specific formats on a document so that it only extracts the data from the predefined table or the specific text field, and also extract that data into any location that we require. And finally, automating everything so that from the end, from the beginning to the end, you don't have to have anyone manually intervening into this process. It will be completely automated end to end. So just when you upload a document to a specific place, it will automatically scan the document, it will automatically extract the data and save it into a storage location of our choice. In this case, it could be a database, it could be an Excel file even. So we have the ability to do that. Now, the business impact we have seen is mainly a huge reduction in manual processing, saving money and time, faster document turnaround, and as well as improved compliance when it comes to handling these types of sensitive documents. Now, if I actually take you through the environment, let me just quickly go over to the file. So this is just a demo, again, a demo environment that we have created. So you have the ability to upload a file, but in this case, since it's a demo environment, we don't have the ability to upload files. We have the preloaded files already uploaded here. We have 5 files just like that. So once we upload a file, we have the ability to just view all the details about these files. Let me actually, first let me show you how the file looks like so you can see how it works. So this is actually a form that can be filled, either typed in, or this one is actually written by hand by a person, right? So you can see the handwriting can be all over the place. The details can be all over the place. I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as we properly train the model to identify the text that we need. So let me just open that up for you. So as you can see, this is the extracted information, the title, first name, last name, all the information that were in the specific fields, the text fields. We can extract it with maximum accuracy, somewhere around 90 to 95% and above on the extracted data fields. And you can see all this data can be properly extracted and then properly aligned into the document that it has been living in.
So
And
just to also talk on this, because I feel like a lot of the companies now are very digital, so you might not see the use case here, but most of the POCs and agents that are within the data AI factory have at one point or another been deployed for a customer or been built for the validation of a customer. So a lot of big companies still have legacy systems where it's off any digital environment, and then you see a lot of manual work that ties up to it. So this basically was used to eliminate that kind of workflow, and it was very effective because it picked up a lot of information. And then this company that was partial digital but still had legacy systems was able to implement like a full digital Azure database system. With Amy's question, like, yeah, I was just going to get to that. With any type of access or security sensitivity within the Azure environment, within Microsoft tenancy, you are able to assign role-based access controls, conditional access. So what this means is that based on, let's say, citizen development workflows, as you mentioned, how to govern them, then you would then define the user groups or role-based access groups within your Azure environment and then enable them and provide them access to. Yasit, do you want to talk about, because her question is about like any e-forms or Power App workflows that are created by, let's say, she says citizen develop, but I'm understanding these would be like different groups within the same tenancy. How do you secure that within the same model?
so, as Saad rightfully mentioned, we have the ability to assign role-based access controls. So we can clearly identify and scope who needs access to what data, so that not a single person will have complete visibility into the data in the environment. So we can properly lock it down just like that. And talking about other security controls, there's things like data encryption, data masking. All these capabilities are natively built into the Microsoft Azure platform and its data storage solutions. So we have the ability to properly utilize them as well for any data or any governance related requirement in the long run.
GPT is basically the critical one that's tied to this, Amit. I do understand that it is being highly customizable. When you build a custom POC, like if you don't see any POCs there, we could still have a team deployed to dive within, like that use case that you have. Then we can review which one suits you better. But from the LLM involved, it's more about to do with the task that the agent's assigned, even as a proper guidance, like anything that you use, let's say Cloud Code, you use the Open Cloud, the new one. It's defined, each agent is defined by the work that it's tasked to do or a goal is supposed to achieve. If you pile up too much on the same agent, then usually hallucinations or data inaccuracy take place. So I think that's just the best practice, that AI best practice that you should introduce. And that's what we employ here as well. So each agent that you deploy will be like specifically tasked to do what it has to do. And the LLM running on the back end is the same then.
Yep. And
Yasit, there was a question for maybe like check if there's any inventory POC that you can showcase or just highlight, because I do understand we're tight on time. Want to get this out of the way as well.
just quickly check. So yeah, currently we have two in inventory about shopping assistant agent and a fuel quantity extraction agent. Let's quickly check with the current agents as well. Yeah, we do have the shopping assistant agent and retail operations assistant. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think based on the previous question by someone about the inventory and sales analysis, the smart retail operational assistant would have the case study aligned to it. As I mentioned, the documentation one is more suitable as well, as you customize it according to your organization. Yes, please continue with I think we were going to showcase the cost.
Yes, exactly. So let me just show you a couple of things mainly about cost and security. So each of these AI POCs comes with two dashboards in this case. I'll take you first through the cost dashboard. So the cost dashboard is going to give you a complete FinOps overview into your existing Microsoft Azure AI implementations or AI components. So you can see the daily spend analysis. You can see the monthly spend, the cost difference compared to last month. So you can clearly understand, is your tool being utilized properly or in the way that you actually require it to. And also you can see service by service breakdown into each and every cost allocated with it. And also if you scroll down, you have the cost distribution based on the owner name, the person who deployed the data, and also daily cost forecast as well on a daily basis. So you can identify how the cost is fluctuating as well as how the cost can be forecasted based on the usage of your tool and components. And also we have a part that it shows the cost anomalies as well as the utilization anomalies. If there is any type of difference in cost, a very unexplainable high usage, I would say, you can clearly identify here, as well as from different accounts and different components, you can understand the utilization anomalies as well. So this gives you a complete view into the financial side of your deployment to understand how everything is going on. And moving on to the security aspect of things, there's a separate dashboard that gives you again a full idea into how everything is deployed in your organization. We call it the Guardian dashboard. So you can see clearly the number of subscriptions, resource groups, and the recommendations based on the security vulnerabilities. You can see the vulnerabilities broken down in according to their severity, high, medium, and low, and it gives you complete understanding into the current security, I would say, state of your Microsoft Azure environment of all the components. So as I mentioned, currently here it shows that there's inadequate control over data encryption for sensitive data. So you can clearly understand how you can mitigate these type of threats by just looking at this security dashboard. And again, broken down into different types of resources, you can clearly see how many security issues this virtual machines have, how many security issues the app service have. So just like that, your MySQL, the servers, your recovery service as well. So just like that, you can clearly identify how your security threat landscape is looking at right now in your organization using the Guardian dashboard. So you know better than to just make sure you secure your environment end to end, because a lot of governance frameworks, as Saad mentioned, it could be Essential 8, it could be ISO 27001, it could be CIS, or any other framework that you might be following. They require to have all these security measures properly put in place, and just making sure that all these security mitigations are handled before you are processing your data. And as Saad mentioned as
Yes,
well, just
there's also a question like, are these assessments passing through the Microsoft native assessment, or is it like a separate assessment that the Guardian is doing?
the Guardian dashboard is actually based on Microsoft Security Center, what we call it, the Defender Security Center. But this is completely built on to make sure that every aspect of it is covered. Microsoft does have separate security assessments for separate components, separate environments, and landscapes. But this is something that we have specially built for the AI and other components that are included with your deployments. Yep. And just to give you a quick overview into everything. So basically all these hundreds of solutions you can see, as I mentioned with the portal, all these are highly customizable. According to your specific requirements, we can get everything customized and tailor-made for you and your organization. And I think due to the limitations of the platform, I mean, we would like to give everyone access to it so they can actually play around with it, go to it and access it. But due to our products currently demonstration capabilities and limitations, I think we have the ability to provide access to 5 of you all for this specific environment. Just go into it, play around with it, have an idea. If there's anything that you need to deploy on your environment, you'll be able to actually reach out to us. So I think Saad, they might have to get in touch with us so we can provide them information on how the access can be given to those 5 organizations.
Amit, that's a good question. Like, if you are just looking to go through what basically it currently has, like for example, the agentic AIs, Copilot agents, and AI POCs, we can definitely get you like a list that we can share with everyone, because I understand as well, because you want to see if there's anything relevant for your department, or you feel like it's relevant for your business. Yeah, you can definitely look into providing that detail. Also,
Perfect. So
I think we'll move on just to
yes,
wrap this up as well. Just to, I think, go over the details on what we had left off. I just want to talk about one thing, is that AI is now, it used to be a buzzword. People were skeptical about it, but then now it's at a point where we have these thought leaders trying to make use of it and make it more effective, be it like in your regular life or in your workplace. And if you're part of a big business, or you're part of any mid-market enterprise company, you understand that the best tools that you feel you should be using for your business are just not viable. Let's say from a security perspective or governance perspective, you can't roll it out across the organization. So when this comes into play and you're within the Microsoft ecosystem, Copilot makes very much sense with the new Copilot launch, and with this AI Factory, how it enables you to deploy the POCs and demos on top of Copilot and the agentic workflows. So our clients are actually doing that now, because they see that it's a part of the industry that needs to be introduced to their business in a manner which enterprise and mid-market companies, even SMBs, can make sense of, or adopt quickly without any red tape, IT red tape, or legal red tape. So we see these metrics make an impact. Now, these are just tied to our clients or what we feel are very much like generally viable, but it's so much impactful to each organization in their own way if you just establish your goals. The governance and risk that we talked about, I think I was going to speak here a bit more, but I think Yasser did cover it off, so I won't go much in detail. But it's about data isolation within the customer Azure tenancy. Again, the role-based access that we talked about. Responsible AI controls embedded, so we're managing everything ethically and responsibly, and compliance elements. So that's, I think, critical for a lot of businesses that are essential AI. So NIST, any type of certification that you might be targeting or being audited for because you already have it. This is very much within that scope where we customize it accordingly and make sure the security policies are set up and the transparent cost modeling. Because I understand a lot of the time when people try to implement any AI framework, you go through these discovery meetings, these deeper dive meetings, these implementation meetings, but at the end of the day, nobody can give you an exact price on what that would cost your business. But I think with this model and how the cost center that you also showed, it gives you a clear understanding what the scale would look like, what the initial POC would look like, and then what type of environment you'll be finding yourself into. And it's expectations versus reality, and the return on investment is something that you can measure very accurately now. And lastly, a bit about like who is Kloudify? Like, why are we just suddenly coming into your lives in this webinar and talking through all of this? We are a Microsoft solution partner, and we've been designated in the 5 category solution designations: security, modern work, data and AI, Azure infrastructure, and Azure digital and app. Now, these certifications don't mean that we just randomly fill out a form and we get those certifications. These are tied to heavy audits, heavy customer evaluation, customer referrals, customer feedbacks that we've worked with and we've performed all of these services for. And then Microsoft gives out these designations. So we do have the authenticity behind our brand. And what we're offering is to come up, engage with us, set up that AI discovery workshop with us. Let us see if we can grab that goal, build something within this model that you see through these 4 steps. That's basically it. Hope everyone learned a few things here and there with it. We do have an offering at the end where we are using free AI use case discovery sessions, 1 or 2 of our workshops that we're offering, I think to the first 5 or 10 that Yasif mentioned. And then we are giving you guys access directly to the portal itself, like free of cost, just to play around, take a look at it, see if it makes sense. Look at those demo environments. And then reach out if you want to do that deployment on your Azure tenancy as well. And no obligation tied to these sessions. Reach out to me on LinkedIn as well or through Tim. My booking links are on my LinkedIn profile as well. Come check it out. Tim, over to you.
Thank you very much for the detailed sharing. So, guys, thank you very much for joining this afternoon. Before you go, can you just help me to do a quick survey as per my screenshot? Okay, scan the QR code and then send us some quick survey before you go. So if you are interested to know about this POC, I'm going to send out an email to recap this webinar with replay link. And if you're interested for us to reach out to you, so please either reply my email or through this survey link, leave your contact information, and then we'll reach out to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a
for
nice
joining.
afternoon. Bye bye.
Have a great day, everyone.